your baby won't sleep at night. Or at least, not in the way you expected, or the way other babies do. They wake every couple of hours, they need feeding or settling repeatedly, sleep lightly, seem impossible to transfer. And somewhere along the line, you've probably started wondering if something has gone wrong. Maybe you've been told you've developed bad habits. Maybe you've heard they're overtired. Maybe someone has suggested they should be sleeping through by now. But most parents are never actually taught what drives infant sleep in the first place. So in this video, I want to strip this right back and explain what is actually going on. Hi, I'm Lyndsey, paediatric nurse, IBCLC, and co-founder of the Holistic Sleep Coaching Program, where we train practitioners around the world to support sleep responsively through biology, development, regulation, and relationship, rather than rigid behavioural approaches. One of the biggest problems in the sleep space is that parents are often given solutions before anyone has properly explained the biology. So today we're going to look at why babies often don't sleep long stretches at night, what actually drives sleep consolidation, and why frequent waking is often far more normal than people realise. One of the biggest misunderstandings about infant sleep is the idea that babies sleep purely because they're tired. They don't. Sleep is controlled by overlapping biological systems. The first is sleep pressure. This is the gradual build-up of the drive to fall asleep across the day. The longer we're awake, the higher that pressure becomes. The second is circadian rhythm. This is the internal body clock that regulates day and night patterns. In very young babies, circadian rhythm is immature. They're not born knowing the difference between night and day. That develops gradually over the first months of life, which means newborn sleep is heavily driven by sleep pressure, feeding needs, comfort needs, and regulation, not by a mature overnight sleep rhythm. That's why very young babies often wake frequently overnight. Their biology is doing exactly what it's designed to do. But also, there's only so much sleep babies, and everyone else for that matter, can achieve in 24 hours. So you'll need to review how much sleep a child is getting in the day and whether the timing of bedtime is realistic. 7 till 7 sleep is simply not backed up by evidence, and it's far more than almost all under 2s can achieve. Another thing that's often misunderstood is the relationship between feeding and sleep. Babies do not just wake because they're hungry, but feeding is an incredibly effective way of meeting multiple needs simultaneously. It provides food, comfort, regulation, pain relief, connection, nervous system settling. So when babies wake and feed overnight, that doesn't automatically mean something's gone wrong with feeding. In fact, frequent feeding in early infancy is biologically protective. Night waking helps maintain proximity between parent and infant. It supports feeding patterns, it supports milk supply in breastfeeding dyads, and lighter sleep states are thought to play a protective role in relation to SIDS risk. That's why biologically normal infant sleep often looks very different from the cultural expectation of a baby sleeping 12 uninterrupted hours. The phrase sleeping through causes so much confusion because it sounds objective, but it isn't. For some people it means 5 hours, for others it means 12, and babies, like adults, naturally transition through lighter sleep states overnight. The difference is that adults usually resettle without fully waking. Babies often can't, particularly if they're highly sensitive, more alert temperamentally, going through developmental change, needing reassurance, or simply not yet neurologically mature enough to transition smoothly between cycles. That's where parents often get blamed unnecessarily. They're told they've caused the waking by responding to it. But responding to waking is not the same thing as causing it. A baby who wakes and feeds is not necessarily waking just because they fed previously. Sometimes they're feeding because they woke up. That distinction matters. This is another huge missing piece in mainstream sleep advice. Not all babies experience sleep in the same way. Some babies are deeply adaptable, others are highly sensitive, some can fall asleep almost anywhere, others become overwhelmed very easily by stimulation, transitions, noise, separation, or changes in routine. Temperament influences sleep enormously. A highly alert, observant baby may wake more fully between sleep cycles. A sensitive baby may need more support regulating. A more reactive child may struggle more with transitions into sleep. And none of those things are parenting failures, they're differences in nervous systems. This is one of the reasons generic sleep advice so often falls apart in real life, because children are not standardised. One of the biggest mindset shifts for many parents is realizing that sleep is not purely mechanical. You can't just insert your baby into a routine or schedule and think that will work for all children. Sleep is relational too. Babies are not isolated little systems who simply need enough tiredness and the correct routine. They're emotionally dependent humans who regulate through connection. That means night waking is often about needing more co-regulation, particularly during periods of illness, teething, developmental changes, separation, stress, or overstimulation. When babies are dysregulated, they often need support to return to a calmer state, and that support frequently looks like proximity, being held, fed, rocked, comforted, not because something's gone wrong, but because regulation is immature. This is the point where people usually want a quick fix, but understanding the why is often more powerful than rushing to a strategy, because once parents understand that frequent waking is not automatically pathological, they can make calmer, more informed and targeted decisions. That doesn't mean families should simply struggle on unsupported. There absolutely are ways to optimise sleep, things like supporting circadian rhythm through daylight exposure, looking at total sleep across 24 hours, reviewing nap timing, reducing overstimulation before bed, providing enough exercise, silly time, fun and outside time, ruling out red flags, supporting regulation, optimising feeding, sharing overnight caregiving where possible, responding in sustainable ways. But optimisation is very different from trying to force a baby into biologically unrealistic expectations. So if your baby or the baby you're caring for won't sleep at night, it doesn't automatically mean you've created bad habits, they're broken, or you're failing. Infant sleep is shaped by biology, development, temperament, regulation, and relationship. And once you understand those pieces, sleep becomes far less mysterious. If this approach resonates with you, you'll find more videos on this channel where we explore infant sleep through the lens of biology, development, and responsiveness rather than rigid sleep rules. And if you want to understand this work more deeply as a practitioner, you might find our earlier videos helpful. Check out our video on why babies need help to fall asleep. See you next time.